Psalm 145, David's Song of Praise. I will extol thee, my God, O King, and I will bless thy name forever and ever. Every day will I bless thee, and I will praise thy name forever and ever. Great is the Lord, and greatly to be praised, and his greatness is unsearchable. One generation shall praise thy works to another, and shall declare thy mighty acts. I will speak of the glorious honor of thy majesty, and of thy wondrous works. And men shall speak of the might of thy terrible acts, and I will declare thy greatness. They shall abundantly utter the memory of thy great goodness, and shall sing of thy righteousness. The Lord is gracious and full of compassion, slow to anger, and of great mercy. The Lord is good to all, and his tender mercies are over all his works. All thy works shall praise thee, O Lord, and thy saints shall bless thee. They shall speak of the glory of thy kingdom, and talk of thy power, to make known to the sons of men his mighty acts, and the glorious majesty of his kingdom. Thy kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and thy dominion endureth throughout all generations. The Lord upholdeth all that fall, and raiseth up all those that be bowed down. The eyes of all wait upon thee, and thou givest them their meat in due season. Thou openest thine hand, and satisfiest the desire of every living thing. The Lord is righteous in all his ways, and holy in all his works. The Lord is nigh unto all them that call upon him, to all that call upon him in truth. He will fulfill the desire of them that fear him. He also will hear their cry, and will save them. The Lord preserveth all them that love him, but all the wicked will he destroy. My mouth shall speak the praise of the Lord, and let all flesh bless his holy name forever and ever.
Sweeter than a candy on a stick, huckleberry, cherry, or lime. If you had a choice, he'd be your pick, but lollipop is mine. Lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly, 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 lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly, 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 lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly, 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 lollipop.
Nothing like getting ready for the most popular podcast in all of central Minnesota. But the brethren depend upon it. The brothers and sisters in Christ enjoy a little encouragement. All of us enjoy a little encouragement. So go pour yourself a cup of coffee. You know when this comes on, it's about 30 seconds away. What a beautiful day in central Minnesota. Beautiful indeed. I'm going to walk into the studio right now. Won't you join us all on today's episode of the Critical Christian Crowd? My name's Lon Linky. See you in a bit.
An orbiting satellite, an eye in the sky that is flashing their whereabouts to a sinister room thousands of miles away in Pennsylvania.
All is going according to plan, fearless leader.
Good, good. Now it is time for our man in Minnesota to take over.
Let the words of my mouth bring thee praise. Let the words that I speak be seasoned with thy love and grace. May the things, O Lord, that I choose to say bring glory, not shame, to your name each day. Let the words of my mouth bring thee praise. Let the works of my of thy grand design, as I humbly surrender my will to thine. Let the works of my hands bring thee praise. Let the course of my life lead to thee. Make the Savior's example a pathway unto my feet. Help me weather the storms of this life and then find my way back to my home again. Let the course of my life lead to thee. Lead me to thee.
I'm your host, Neil deGrasse Tyson, your personal astrophysicist, and I got my co-host, Chuck. Nice, Chuck, baby.
Hey, what's happening, Neil?
All right. I bet you don't know what we're going to do today. This is a new thing we're doing today.
Uh-oh.
This is going to be a stuff you thought you knew, like a second installment of that.
Right.
We did this once before, and
Yes.
it really caught on, and people wanted a little more of that kind of action.
It's because people want to know.
They want to know.
They want to know more. More and more.
They want to know new stuff, plus if the old stuff they knew was wrong, they want to fix it. Usually, most of the time.
It's always the same two guys, man. It's always the same two guys. Do it again. Do it again.
get vaccinated, to wear masks, to do social distancing, washing your hands all the time, and not just to think about, well, my freedom is being kind of disturbed here. No, screw your freedom.
And I should add, at last, the need for much stronger global cooperation. COVID has shown us that we are globally interdependent, and I think it's a wake-up call to work in the future together to address all the consequences and to create a reset in our economic, social, ecological thinking.
We are coming out, thanks also to the leadership of China in terms of fighting the pandemic, in terms of reinvigorating its economy. We have now a window of opportunity to create this global reset which we all need. This global reset is necessary because we have seen that our policies which we pursued before the coronavirus struck us, that those policies do not create the necessary inclusion of society necessary for harmonious societal development. And they do not create the sustainability of what we are doing. Just think of the global warming, how fast it is developing in the opposite, into the negative direction. So we have a great opportunity at this moment, like we had after World War II, to have in some way a new beginning in our global cooperation, in globalization, in managing our global affairs. I hope that we will not miss this opportunity.
长婆娘茶嘛！
哎呦，害羞了！
哎呦，有啥子害羞啊？
下锅说话们呀都害羞来们哟，你说与我们哟哟一，小把酒来们哟一哟，当心小妹们哟，带着你来们哟，发光子妈妈哟哟一，身体不来们哟一哟。
长婆娘来们哟，莫小张来们哟。
It is my pleasure to attend this virtual session of the World Economic Forum. In 2 weeks' time, China will celebrate the advent of spring in the Lunar New Year, the Year of the Tiger. In Chinese culture, tiger symbolizes bravery and strength.
China has made significant economic and social achievements under your leadership. In the first 3 quarters of 2021, China's economy grew by over 9%. You have achieved a historic goal to become a moderately prosperous society in all respects.
All is going according to plan, fearless leader.
Good, good. Now it is time for our man in Minnesota to take over.
These are great days we're living, bros. We are jolly green giants walking the earth with guns.
Somewhere in this jungle, there's several hundred North Vietnamese soldiers who could wipe out this little American unit to the last man in an unguarded moment.
Mr. President, I strongly echo your remarks in 2017 that mankind has made progress by surmounting difficulties. And when encountering difficulties, we should join hands and rise to the challenge.
There's constantly friction between China and Vietnam, and it's not something that I was ever aware of until I was living in Vietnam. But after the Vietnamese War, China actually invaded Vietnam again, and the Vietnamese won that war.
Hero has stopped making brave jokes now. The shock has worn off and the pain has begun.
This is the best time for leaders to come together and work jointly for the world to become more inclusive, more sustainable, and more prosperous.
China has been a little aggressive in claiming land that Vietnam also claims and building military bases on land that Vietnam or the Philippines also claim. And sometimes that causes some tension with the Chinese people who live inside of Vietnam or the Chinese factories that are inside of Vietnam, but usually it's okay.
But you've seen how it really was. Heroism, danger, fear, all rolled into one. Words don't describe it. Richard Threlkeld, CBS News, near the Cambodian border.
We now welcome His Excellency Xi Jinping.
To meet the severe challenges facing humanity, we must add wings to the tiger and act with the courage and strength of the tiger to overcome all obstacles on our way forward.
I love the little commie bastards, man. I really do.
Oh, yes. We love those little communist, fatherless cretins. Good morning, saints, and welcome, sinners. This is the Critical Christian Crowd. I am your laconic lay leader, Lon Linky, live from, once again, a frozen tundra. The frozen tundra of west central Minnesota. Good morning, Margaret. Margaret's got a toque on this morning. Yeah, it's cold outside, campers. It's cold. I know. I don't want to belabor the point. I really don't want to belabor the point. Margaret, you want to read this weather warning?
Wind chill warnings remain in effect until noon today at Thursday. Dangerously cold wind chills as low as 50 below.
All right, that's enough. That's enough. 50 below zero. 50 below zero. Thank you, Lord. It is a test. It is a test in endurance. So, like I said, I know my brothers and sisters down south are experiencing a cold wave, and we did the NASA math on that if it's 20 degrees down south, 20 degrees is cold. That's cold. But then if you subtracted another 70 degrees, that's where we are. So if you added 70 to 20, that'd make it 90. That's the same weather difference. I've done this many times. I think it's a beautiful thought experiment, isn't it? It's not even an experiment, it's just an example. That's all. So grab yourself a cup of coffee this morning, Saints. Good to see all of you in here this morning. I'm even double layered up in a couple of departments. Shirts, hats, pants, grundleware, everything.
You don't have any socks on, you dummy.
I never wear socks, ever, ever, ever. I stopped wearing socks in 2010, so I don't wear socks. I wear thermal insulated boots. Enough about me. Anyway, cup of coffee. I hope you're all warm where you are. Yeah, Mrs. E's got some cold weather out there. Who said Idaho is the new Hawaii? That's good. Well, nice to see you in here this morning, Saints. Well, this morning we get to take a look at this number one evil, fearless leader of the worldwide realm. Don't call me Santa Claus, the human cartoon, the anal swab, Klaus Schwab. The Great Reset. If you built a cartoon character if you built a villain, you couldn't build it any better than what Davos and the World Economic Forum has decided to push out front, other than Klaus Schwab, complete with the accent, the bald head, the eye monocle. All he's missing is the scar down the side of his face. And if you look close, if you shake his hand, I bet he's got one. I bet he's got one. Unbelievable. But I was trying to find, and this guy got my attention, what now, almost 3 years ago. Because those of you, we, us, we keep an eye on these globalists, right? So it's no small, this is not new to us that these men of power, these men of wealth, these men of fame, these men of fortune all decide to get together. Rally round the flag, yes, we'll rally round the flag, shouting the battle cry of tyranny. Yeah, they just want to control the world, that's all.
That seems evil.
Yeah, it does seem evil, doesn't it? But what are they talking about? I mean, it's insanity. It's absolute insanity. Who is Klaus Schwab to tell you, me, us, we that things are not working out? They haven't worked out very well, okay? It is time to rise up. And this is really what it's all about. I don't want to get too carried away with the mannerisms and characteristics of this human cartoon. Don't call me Santa Anal Schwab. But the whole deal here, and this just came out a couple of days ago, and I'm a couple of days late to the party. I'm surprised more people didn't mirror this, and this just it's a big old party for China. It's a big old praise China, screw the United States of America party that they're having over there. And is that right? Davos is going on right now. It came under the banner of the World Economic Forum. I expect him to choke himself out if he keeps talking like that, rolling those R's and gargling his throat anytime a word comes out of that crazy German's pie hole. I don't know whether he's a German or not. He sure sounds like one. He must be an Austrian German. Those are the most dangerous ones. That's where that little short guy came from. That's what A.H. came from. And that's also where Einstein came from. Wouldn't surprise me if Klaus Schwab also came from Austria, German Austria. I don't know. I don't know where he comes from. Right. Listen, I can only do so much research on evil, and then I got to put it down. But it is amazing. It is amazing. And it's just, what have I been saying? It's just like we're reliving the 1960s all over again. In that opening intro, and I'm not going to play it again. I got some other clips from old Don't Call Me Santa Claus this morning. But in the opening intro, he was talking about, we have another great opportunity to take advantage just like we did post-World War II. What? What do you mean? What opportunity lied in front of you chuckleheads after World War II ended? Well, here in the United States of and America, we know what happened. We certainly know what happened. Whole bunch of government projects and going down to Antarctica and trying to blow a hole in the firmament and the creation of NASA and all of this. What Klaus, is he referring to that again too? We have another great opportunity to rise up, just like after post-World War II. What are you talking about? Seriously, what are you talking about? As far as conflicts went, we had a Korean War, and then we had the Vietnam War, and here we go again. Here we go again. Drop the needle on the record. Second verse, same as the first. Yeah, exactly. You already have your social unrest. You have your space exploration, and it's a race to outer space once again. So you got your angry, upset criminal element and and higher education campus youths out in the streets screaming, the BMLs, the bowel movement lesbians, and the Antifa. They're screaming about everything that walks down the road that looks white and normal. So they got to create a new normal. Well, it's not new normal at all. It's the 1960s again. The only thing they're missing is what happened to Martin Luther King, Robert Kennedy, Malcolm X, JFK. Any more we're missing there? In the lone sniper realm, that's all we're missing. Otherwise, you got a replay of the 1960s. You know, I hate to belabor that point, but that's what it is. I'm an old guy. I lived during that time. I was a paper boy, and in the morning when you would fold your papers, you read them. You read the headlines. You read the paper. Well read at the age of 11 years old as to current affairs and what was going on. It wasn't good. It was not good. And as I watch, as I observe what's going on now in the realm, 50 years later, it's the same thing. To me, that's amazing. I mean, that is just amazing. Margaret, how old were you in 1969? I bet you were about, what, 80? She's old. Old cookie jar, I'm telling you, old. So anyway, that was that. So this whole thing about don't call me Santa Claus, the anal Schwab, was that he just could not stop praising President Xi and China for the wonderful job done over the last. Okay, good for you. At least we know who you're aligning yourself with, China. And how wonderful their social, their society structure and their economic welfare had come together. Well, is he forgetting that they're communist? Is he forgetting the Christians over there? Is he forgetting the Jews over there? If there are even any Jews over there. They certainly make a big enough stink about the Uyghurs that are over there, that they're oppressing the Uyghurs. You know, the Uyghurs, the moose limbs. I'm your huckleberry. Well, you, moose, are my huckleberry. But I guess they forgot all about that, right? They forgot all about the human rights. No. He didn't forget. Listen, this is why this guy is number one villain of the world. Number one villain of the world. And let's do this. Let's just Christian ponder something before we get to these clips this morning, shall we? Let's just do this. Let's just ask a question. Let's just ask a question here real quick. Why would America, and I know some of you are not from the United States, but here in America, we have to Christian ponder this. Why would we even begin to listen to the World Economic Forum, right? I listened to him this morning as I left the box and came to the studio here, the loft studio. That sun is bright. And here's what, and listen, when we talk about the World Economic Forum, you're talking about the World Health Organization, you're talking about the United Nations, you're talking about Davos, you're talking about the Rockefeller Foundation, you're talking about the higher ups, the hoities of, and there's not even any toity in there. It's just the hoities. The hotties is what they are. They're the hoities, right? And their goals are pretty simple. When you listen to them, and they had an open panel this morning, and then a short Q&A. Some power mama was running with some female CEO, and then three guys that they let speak a little bit. But the goal is the same. They want private business, small business, to get on board with their agenda. And, you know, all they can do is Margaret, can you get that phone for me, please? Thank you. Don't let it go to 3 rings now. Don't let it go to 3 rings, okay? So they want the little businesses. They want the private businesses. because all the big boys, they're all in. And what they're doing is they're either polluting the world or they're depleting the natural resources of the earth. And nobody's going to hold them to account because they're all in this together. So what they do is create the problem. And what is this? This is the Hegelian dialectic. You create the problem and wait for the reaction and then present the solution. Well, we're all at the solution end of this now. We're all at the solution end of it. I ain't dealing with Johnny Bananas over here selling lemonade on the side of the road for $0.25 a cup. We still all have access to the intranets, the intraweb. And for those of us who take the time just to define things, just to know what in the wide, wide world of sports they're talking about, it's pretty easy to do. It's very simple to do. And that's just to know what no good they're up to. But as your average run-of-the-Joe, working, hard-class, God-fearing, Lord-trusting, Spirit-led individual, there's no reason to even consider this. But this is the problem. They don't acknowledge the Hoyties, the Davos, the World Economic, that group. They don't acknowledge God. They certainly don't acknowledge a sovereign God. And they don't want any sovereign countries. This is why Trump got in so much trouble. One of the reasons he did with the Hoyties was because he said, I'm not going to the Paris peace talks. I'm not going to the climate change things. I'm not doing all that. We're America. We're gonna make America great again. We're not gonna depend on any of you other knuckleheads. And he did a fine job. Matter of fact, we wouldn't have these high gas prices right now had President Orange Man continued on. He would have opened up more pipelines. He would have allowed more fracking. Now, where you are, what your position is on all of this stuff, I don't care. We can go round and round on the benefits of fracking or coal or anything like that. But I'm telling you something, folks. You got a mess now because old Joe has shut everything down. And now the prices are only going to get up. I researched Gas Buddy the other morning, and they're predicting prices over $4 a gallon here in the Midwest and the South, which are the cheapest prices in the states. I know California is a mess already. I think they're already at 5 or 6, and New York is probably the same. But here in the Midwest, where you gotta truck, you gotta haul produce, you gotta move meat and vegetables. You need lower gas prices. Otherwise, your hyperinflation is just going to go hyperinflation, and it's gonna, and that's what they're doing. I mean, that's what they're doing. That's all there is to that. All right. So, Christian pondered the fact that once again, you're talking about godless, fatherless children of disobedience, and that's what they are. And listen, this once again, this is low-hanging tares. This is easy to point a finger at somebody as ridiculous as don't call me Santa Claus, Anal Schwab. It's easy. That's easy pickings. He's a fool. He looks like a fool. He talks like a fool. And the things that come out of his mouth are foolish. They're foolish. He has yoked himself with perhaps the worst country on the realm, right? And here was my point too. I'll get to this one first. Shoot, I already took my Christian Ponder banner down there. Moose, throw it back up there for me, will you? Yeah, thank you. Christian Ponder this. All this talk about Russia and going to Ukraine, and Russia's going to invade Ukraine, and then they're going to invade Kazakhstan or whatever stan it is over there they're going to invade. But they're going to invade all these countries. Everybody's worried about Russia. Christian Ponder this, boys and girls. Christian Ponder this. When was the last time the United States was in an active battle against Russia or the USSR? When? I'll wait. No. No. We've never fought Russia. There was a Cold War. There was a Cold War, right? Oh, okay. There was a Cuban Missile Crisis. Were they launched? No. No. No nukes flew. No bullets flew. No airplanes flew. There's a lot of talk about war, but there's no war. Matter of fact, we're so buddy with Russia, we got them in the International Floatyville tuna can with us. That's how much we love Russia. This is again, it's a trick. It's a trick. Who's talking about China? These guys do. Old Klaus and his gang of clodhoppers over there. That's who's talking about China, and they love China. They love China. Let's just do a quick one here. This is just how much he loves China. Go ahead, Klaus.
We now welcome His Excellency Xi Jinping, President of the People's Republic of China.
尊敬的施瓦布主席
Professor Klaus Schwab, ladies and gentlemen, friends, greetings to you all. It is my pleasure to attend this virtual session of the World Economic Forum. In 2 weeks' time, China will celebrate the advent of spring in the Lunar New Year, the year of the tiger. In Chinese culture, tiger symbolizes bravery and strength.
So they're getting ready for bravery and strength. You know what we're getting ready for over here in the United States of America?
Folks, I'm not going to take questions today because I have a direct message to the American people. Tomorrow the team is going to be on television and talking in more detail about what I'm going to be speaking about today. But I want to send a direct message to the American people.
Yeah, we're waiting for old Joe to say something coherent. He addressed the nation yesterday. And all he did is he got angry because he couldn't keep a coherent thought coming. And you'd like to think that, well, if this happens in the United States of America, thank our good God in heaven that we've got a vice president, right?
It's Joe Biden, and I'm vice president, and my name is Kamala Harris.
You got a crazy lady. You got a power mama pointing her finger at you. It's insane. Absolute insanity. And I got to tell you something. You know, you don't have to know too much about China and their military. And not to say that the United States doesn't have a strong military, but I don't know that it's as strong as it used to be, because I know they're big on all of this inclusion and equality and diversity and all of this. And the fact that our military leaders themselves are spending more time on critical race theory than they are on weapons training should be a little frightening. And I'm going to tell you something. Nobody, including China, is afraid of a lesbian army. Nobody is. Nobody is. And America loves lesbians. They just love lesbians. And you, me, us, we're supposed to love them too. Believe me, I love lesbians.
That didn't come out right. You better rephrase that.
Listen, we love these people, but you certainly don't put them in charge. And that's all old Joe has done. He has found some of the most, how do I want to put this kindly, in a Christian way? These are people, men and women, not boys and girls, men and women who can't pull the front of their pants open, look down, and know who they are. That's them. They don't know who they are. And then you put those people in charge and expect other people to follow them? No. No. If you don't know who you are and you start making stuff up, then I'm not going to follow you down that road of imagination and fantasy. And you, in my day, when boys were boys and men were men and little girls were made of sugar and spice and everything nice, we called those kind of people mentally insane. They didn't know who they were. And many times the church was able to help them come out of that mess. But anyway, nobody's afraid of a lesbian army. That's all. That was my whole point. So back to...
Mr. President, I strongly echo your remarks in 2017 that mankind has made progress by surmounting difficulties. And when encountering difficulties, we should join hands and rise to the challenge. I believe this is the best time for leaders to come together and work jointly for the world to become more inclusive, more sustainable, and more prosperous.
And he just told you. He wants the whole world to become more inclusive. He wants more of this we're all in this together nonsense. That no one is sovereign. We're all together. We're all the same. We're all cookie-cutter human beings. What is he? Is he insane? Yes, he's insane, and we all know he's insane. And it's an insane idea. It's an absolutely insane idea that they're talking about. Jeepers creepers. Yeah, and if you forgot where he came from, I don't know where originally, when he first came to my attention, it was just right before the cuckoo for Cocoa vid, because we were discussing the Rockefeller Foundation and what was coming out of the Rockefeller Foundation. And then when the cuckoo for Cocoa vid hit, this guy, they pushed him right out center stage, put all three spotlights on him. This should remind you what his reaction was during the summer of 2020 when they released the Kraken, when they let the bowel movement lesbians go crazy, and they let the Antifa. They just said, go out and terrorize the world everywhere, burn down buildings, rape, pillage, plunder, kill people. And they let them do it. And they did it. And not that many have been held accountable, not the way they're holding some other Americans accountable. But anyway, this cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, he was at center stage.
3 R's. Restrain, which means to fight the virus, the hot phase. Most countries are in today. Then we have recover, to go back to a kind of new normal. And finally, the reset, which means to define and to design the strategies which should lead us in the after-corona phase. What is the objective? What kind of world do we want to build? What do we know? What did we learn? I think the world which we want to create with the Great Reset has to be much more resilient. It has to be, because security, people will demand more security. Physical security, health security. It will have to be more inclusive. We had already a big gap before the crisis started. This gap will be tremendously increased. So if we want to avoid some kind of social revolutions, and we have seen the signs of anger on the streets already the last weeks, so we have to address this issue to create a stronger inclusiveness. And finally, more sustainable, because we know now that the next crisis is already waiting for us around the corner.
Yeah. Who made him king of the world? The new world that we need to put together has to be A, B, C, and D. The 3 R's. We will rise up. You're not going to rise anything, chucklehead. So here's the whole point. We have to start addressing this in a rather vocal position. And I don't care whether it's at a local level or a state level or a federal level. We all have representatives here in the United States, local, state, and federal representatives. It's time to get them on the telephone. It's time to go to some of these rallies and their meetings. And believe me, they'll be out campaigning in the streets. Don't go to your favorite politician's campaign. Go to the one who you don't want in and ask them some hard questions and make them laconic, because we know they're not real good in the common sense department, so you've got to make questions simple for them to understand. We're not interested in world domination. We're not interested in a new world order. We're not interested in a new normal, which is the opposite of normal, which would make it abnormal. We're not interested in any of that mess. And here's what happens. He's trying to paint a picture of, we are going to save the earth and make the grass green and the blue skies blue again, while they're painting the skies with solar shielding, geoengineering almost constantly. It's lies. It's just all lies. But the fallout is when you talk to the common man that's been in these areas, these positions, these countries where China has been involved. I found that beautiful piece on this young man, probably in his 20s, if that, who is currently residing in Vietnam. All right? This thing is from circa 2021, this kid. Listen closely to what he says. He's a young man living in Vietnam. All right? Here we go.
As far as the Chinese people living like in Ho Chi Minh, for example, they hold much of the same social standing as a normal Vietnamese person. They usually live in their own community, and I don't believe they two interact too much, but there isn't ever too much of a problem except for when there's a problem between Vietnam and China. There's constantly friction between China and Vietnam, and it's not something that I was ever aware of until I was living in Vietnam. But after the Vietnamese War, China actually invaded Vietnam again, and the Vietnamese won that war. Since then, China has been a little aggressive in claiming land that Vietnam also claims and building military bases on land that Vietnam or the Philippines also claim. And sometimes that causes some tension with the Chinese people who live inside of Vietnam or the Chinese factories that are inside of Vietnam, but usually it's okay.
Yeah. It's not perfect, though, is it, young man? No. Tensions building. And that's what communist countries do. I mean, we have our own history of the 20th century to look back over, between Mao and Stalin and little short, funny mustache guy who's standing right over there. They killed 100 million people. Unless you don't believe that history either. I don't know. It's not grievous. I mean, because the blessed assurance is the fact that we know this realm is going to burn to the ground. We know it's going to burn to the ground. I don't know what they're trying to save. Well, you do know. You, I, us, we do know what they're trying to save.
What are they trying to save?
They're trying to save your whirling, twirling, spinning, tilted, magical, hot molten center, sticky water ball. That's what they're trying to save. They're saving the globe. And as in regards to global warming, come up to Minnesota. Come on up to Minnesota, will you please? Yeah. 50 below zero. 24 below, just off the gauge. Yeah. Okay. I got your global warming. And there are no glaciers melting at the poles. One pole doesn't even exist, so that's a lie. And the other one you can't go to. I can't go to it. We can't go to it. They go to it, though. If you can't go there, does it exist? I don't know. It certainly isn't what those who get to go there tell you it is, because the human heart is wicked. We're born into a fallen state, a lost world, a lost realm of nothing but disobedience. Amazing. You know, I thought about this too. We'll end this with this Christian ponder thought too. I'm not going to run the banner. You know, in Genesis it says, I mean, it's very well scripted as to how the creation of heaven and earth came about. The creation of the firmament, of the sun, the moon, the stars. And I believe, somebody's going to have to check me on this, but I know after the first one, he said, it is good. It is good. I'm pretty sure that after every one of those days, it ended with, and it was good. So our good God in heaven has created this realm for us to dwell in, and it is good. He created us, and we were good. But the whole idea that the creation is good, and it is, there's plenty of glory to look around and see. It's beautiful. It's beyond comprehension. It's beyond comprehension. But because of the fallen ones, and because of the big number one who sits at the number one chair at the table of 150, man has been deceived. Man has been corrupted. So in all this goodness of God's creation, all of us have a choice to either come to his side or stay on the realm and love the realm. You follow one or you follow the other. It's not that difficult. Not that difficult at all. I should have gone, well, this is what happens when you're old and slow and Parkinson's runs in your family. I have the thought, but it always doesn't come out of the pie hole correctly. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. All right, I think I'm done. I really think I'm done. I had a lot of notes on this one because this guy's such a goofball. I got a couple minutes to kill. Something off the fancy NASA data spitting information machine.
That's a laptop, you idiot.
This is right out of Davos. There's no digital without chips. New European Chips Act announces. That's right. There's no digital without chips. And Europe wants to get ahead of the game here with the chip production. And the European Union, the European Commission president, a power mama. She's a power mama. Ursula von der Leyen. Yeah, we are going to do it again. But we couldn't let Germany do it because every time Germany goes to war, they go to war against the world. We won't have Germany do it. We'll just have a bunch of German-speaking people go into World War III. Yeah, good job. Good job, boy. They can't even change a few accents down the line. Yeah, anyway. She's at Davos. We need to radically raise Europe's game on the development, production, and use of this key technology. She told the Davos agenda. And the act, and they're going to pass this thing, will enable progress in 5 key areas. I'm not going to go over the 5 key areas, but it's not good. I'll tell you that. It's not good. And the end goal, the global chip market. The global chip market, the microchip or the semiconductor market. Yeah. Struggling with supply, trying to keep up with the demand. Takes about 2 years to build a new factory. What did the whole idea of computers and chips just come to you folks right now? No, they're not even good liars. Anyway, that's that. All right. I'd like to tell you that I'm going to be able to go outside and enjoy a a beautiful day in Minnesota, but I'm looking out. I can see the highway way across the lake here too. Ain't much traffic. Nobody wants to go outside when it's 50 below zero. Good gravy. That is chilly. That is chilly. So that more or less wraps it up on this guy. I mean, we don't get too excited about it, but we know what's coming. I mean, we know what's coming. It's hard to believe that we could stop this kind of train of power and money and wealth and prestige and media that's all bought and paid for. I mean, you really have to have eyes to see and ears to hear, and the confidence and liberty and freedom that only Christ can provide to just endure and overcome what's gonna come, and it's coming. That's the whole point. I mean, this is just low-hanging tares. This is just a comedy character. This is laughable, scoffable, mockable, because he's pure evil, 100% pure evil. And believe me, they know what's coming, and they know the shape of the earth too, and they got their bunkers. And I don't care. Listen, well, our job is to save souls, bring people to Christ, so that at the end of the day, they can take rest in the Lord. They can have peace and understanding. That's not a difficult gospel message to get across. Peace and understanding at the end of the day. Calm down, be still, trust in the Lord. All things will be added. I just want to let you know they were ramping them up again, and old Don't Call Me Santa Claus Anal Schwab is all in with China and Xi. That's his buddy. That's his running mate. Forget about America. Yeah. All right. Well, that's a happy note to end on. Boy, look at the chat this morning. Wow. There's some numbers. That's a good one. There's my old buddy from the Take Your Soul Away chip. That's right. They're gonna stick some mystery syrup in your arms and stick some technology in your hands and in your foreheads, and they're gonna do all sorts of fun stuff. And for people who don't read their Bibles, why would they not go ahead and do all this? Why wouldn't they? They love science. They love technology. They love math. Oh, okay. Have fun. Have a ball. All right. Sherry Cox is in there. Hi, Sherry. Good morning. She's in Colorado. I don't know whether she's getting this kind of cold that we're getting here, but it's brutal this morning. Nobody gets cold like Minnesota. Cold. It's just like an oil, those when you pour your oil into a funnel, all that cold air comes through the funnel, and the narrow end is the state of Minnesota. It just shoots out of that, and it just goes right to Minnesota. All right, Sour Apples is in there this morning. Good morning. Sun-Driven's there. Sherry Cox. A lot of folks. We're way over the double-digit number. Tony and his rabbits are in there this morning. Good morning. PK, thank you. My brother, my friend, Gary Towner's in there. Mrs. E. And, I'm always forgetting, folks. A little under music would be nice there, Margaret. You mind? Thank you. Well, you guys do get chatty in there. Yeah, and Starling Swallow was in there this morning. Good morning, Starling Swallow. Lady, woman, girl. Hey, a couple of them even said hello to you, Margaret.
They all ought to talk to me. Nobody should be talking to you, you dumb, stupid, stinky boy.
I had a shower the other day, so hush on the stinky. Global deception. Will? Wow. This is nice. A couple of countries not heard of before. Only got 777 subscribers. You'd think a few would pop in from time to time. But we are the least watched, least viewed vlogcast podcast in the history of the Tube of Few Fishermen in the Box, just the way we like it. All right. I'm over the button. I have a beautiful song to go out on. I have a dear sister over in New Zealand who I was chatting with. I hadn't heard from in about a year. And out of the blue, she sent me a DM over on Messenger and wanted to know what was going on in the United States. And I said, well, it's good to see you again, hear from you, because I want to know what's going on over in New Zealand. So we chatted for a good time. And yeah, it's not what you see, folks. It's not what you see. Sometimes it's better and sometimes it's worse. Most of it is built in fear, humiliation, and control and condescension. You got to rise above this realm. You got to rise above the evil that is controlling this realm. And there's certainly enough instructions in the good book to let us know how to do it. So that's all. Anyway, it was good to hear from her, and she suggested a particular gospel hymn that is very popular in New Zealand. I'd never heard of it, and she linked it to me, and I'm going to link it all to you. So, may the peace, joy, love, and grace, understanding, and rest that can only be found in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ be with you this day and every day. I love you, saints. So good to see all of you. And this weekend should be fun, too. No teasers, but it will be fun. It will be fun. I love you. Take care. Bye-bye, everybody.
Question is, will I ever leave you? The answer is no, 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 no. So question is, will I ever leave? The answer is no. No, 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 no. Let me tell you why I love the Lord. He's so dear to me. Oh, he died that I might be free. I was asked this question years ago, and the answer is still no. Now the question is, will I do his will? And the answer is yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. So the question is, will I do his will? And the answer is yeah, 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 yeah. I'm presenting my body, living sacrifice. All I ever want to do is the will of Christ. I was asked this question, and the answer is yeah. Now the question is, when will Jesus return? Somebody help me say, soon, soon, soon. Trouble all over the world. I'm telling every man, woman, boy, and girl, Jesus is coming so soon. So soon. Yeah, 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 yeah. Soon. The heavens declare your glory, and I will do the same. The skies proclaim the work of your hands, and I will do the same. And I will sing, and I will shout, and glorify your name. All of creation testifies, I will do the same. The mountains bow down before your throne, and I will do the same. The trees of the fields clap their hands, and I will do the same. And I will sing, and I will shout, and glorify your name. All of creation testifies, and I will do the same. Oh, Lord, I will sing, and I will shout, and glorify your name. All of creation testifies, and I will do the same. Grace falls down like a river from your wounded side, and I will sing declare your glory, and I will do the same.
Thanks a lot for searching that out, man. Appreciate that. Fisherman in the Box. Fisherman in a Box.